The season is over, my bags are packed, I'm off to pastures new, but for the first bit of this episode we'll give you a catch up on what happened since you last saw us, since we won the title, and then we will see where I'm going and what that looks like. Okay, you left us having beaten Avion 4-1 to win the league, or completely clinched the league. We'd already basically won it. We played the Cup quarter-final against Sahel. We beat them 2-0, so we were into the semis, which, as you know, is in about another month. So we played a couple of friendlies, absolutely tonked some people, scored lots of goals, got people match fit, and then just completely did nothing useful against Cotton Sport. Took the lead and just gave it away. We were not good on the day. There was a few half decent performances, but we just weren't at the races, to be honest. So that was us out of the cup. We then had a Rayon Sports in the CAF Champions League preliminary round. We beat them 5-0 in Rwanda. We came home, we beat them 7-0 in Cameroon. So 12-0 on aggregate, which got us through against South African opposition in the form of Mamelodi Sundowns. As you can see, won 16-0 in the friendly. Excellent stuff. Won 8-1 in a friendly, and then this. They outplayed us, generally speaking. They were the better side for most of it. But we got the goal early in the second half. We held on to it. And then the board went up 3 minutes of time added on. And they scored in the fourth of those 3 minutes of time added on. And then, second leg, we fought hard, but we were... I mean, this Nasir, I can't quite remember the gist of their goals, but they were goals we shouldn't have been giving away, really. And Senge put into his own net, which was very harsh because the ball just sort of bounced off about 3 people, hit him on the backside and went in. Rostam pulled one back later on, but out 5-3 on aggregate, which meant we missed the group stage, which could have earned Bambutos a decent bit of money. Sadly, they've missed out on that. But losing in this round means you do go into the CAF Confederation Cup, which you might remember we were in last season. But obviously I won't be managing that because I'm heading off. My new club wanted me to start the day after the Mamelodi Sundowns game. Yeah, I will be leaving them to fight the good fight in continental competition without me. What I did do while I was here was try and sign as many of these players to new contracts as possible, because I mean, this, you've seen it all season, this is a quality squad. We've got 2 sides who can beat almost anyone in this league. The second string, little bit weaker than the first, but not by much. Might even possibly have been able to nick a title on their own. Yeah, looking at the expiry dates, I mean, a lot of them still say they expire, but that was because I was setting people up to sign a new contract when, or start their new contract when their current one expires, rather than immediately. So most of them have got a contract in the offing. So I've tried to leave Bambutos in as good a position as possible. It wouldn't let me sign anyone as soon as I'd got the new job, so I couldn't get anyone else. Esomba and Onana, as you can see there, is joining Kalan Yaounde. Traitorous little swine that he is. But you know, that's 19.5 grand off the wage budget. If I'd have still been there, and I would have still let him go, I was umming and ahhing about him, I would have been looking at just bringing someone else in to replace him, although there's not that many that we've found of similar sort of quality. Akono is going. Insoen is going. He's actually going to Belarus of all places. So yeah, that wage budget should come down a little bit. And to be honest, they don't even really necessarily need to replace any of the ones who are going, so they could just save the money. Obviously, what we might be looking at for our new team is seeing if we can maybe poach one or two. I mean, obviously, I'd love to have Boris. Boris has just been an absolute beast. Poor old Din Din didn't win the Young Player of the Year. I've got a funny feeling Boris did, actually. Let's just have a quick look. Oh yeah, and the other thing, Canon Yaoundé lost their last game of the season, so we ended up 6 points clear. Let's have a look. Awards. Award winners. Young Player of the Year. Yes, it was Boris, again, for the third straight year. Din Din didn't even get top 3, apparently, in the end. I don't know who votes on this stuff, but it would have been nice to see a centre back up there, wouldn't it? What else we got? Manager of the Year. Of course it was me. Although, Manager of the Month wise, I did actually win. Yeah, I won the one for August, where almost no games were played. And every time I kept on losing out to this bloody Canon Yaoundé manager, even though we were like top of the league most of the time at this point. I was like, what do I have to do to win one? And look at that. I mean, always second place. Not there. I don't know what happened in June, to be honest. Why was I not even in contention in June? It's an outrage. I demand a recount. But yeah, generally speaking, I was one of the top 2 managers. Actually, who won goal of the season? Oh, okay. None of our players are up there. So yeah, so that was how things finished off in Cameroon. Now we'll have a quick look on a map and see where in the world I'm heading to. This is our new stadium. It's the Mura Stadion, and if we zoom out gradually, it's, as you can see, it's in a place called Eidsvoll, and those of you who wanted me to go to Norway will be very excited to know that Norway is exactly where we have gone, and looks quite a nice area. Lovely big lake there. Lots of lakes hanging around this area, and Oslo just down the road, not that far away. So yeah, down there in relatively southern Norway, not too far from the Swedish border, and back in Europe. So yep, you have your wish, Harry. I'm going to give you a shout out by name in this one. I am finally in Norway, not Bran as you would have hoped, but they are a little beyond my means, especially as my reputation seems to struggle to improve. It had gone up to 40%, seemingly until we won the league, and now it's gone back down to 35%. I don't know why. I mean, I've won 3 titles in 3 different countries. I really don't see why my reputation is below 50%, to be honest. It may not be the greatest of countries, but surely that shows at least some adaptability, doesn't it? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But yeah, so it looks like a lovely part of the world. It's going to be a lot more expensive to live in than Cameroon, but fortunately, I was saving hard in Cameroon. So next episode, we will have a look around in the area, see if we can pick up anywhere, possibly to rent, maybe to buy. At this point, I've been earning a reasonable amount of money in relatively cheap countries for most of my 10-year career so far, so I should have a deposit stashed away somewhere. So yeah, we'll have a look around. We'll have a bit of a wander around the area. I think we might actually be able to get on the ground a little bit easier in Norway than we could in Cameroon. So we can have a bit of a mooch around the area. The next one will be a real proper getting to know you Eidsvoll episode. So right, well, let's go and have a quick look and see what actually is there when I get there. Well, here we are. We are at last in Norway with a team called Eidsvoll Turn, who are 3rd Division. We've got no assistant manager at the moment. Okay, they do have some trophies. Lower division ones by the looks of things. Yes. Yeah, there's quite a lot of lower division stuff there. Not much in the way of a transfer budget. Not much in the way of a wage budget, although that's roughly the sort of wages we were paying in Cameroon, but it went a lot further in Cameroon, I think. Okay, right, well, let's move on. Okay, this is the team. Let's have a look at some of these players. Yeah, not as good as my Cameroon boys, are they? Which means there's possibly the option of plucking some people out of Cameroon, maybe? Just maybe. I mean, how good would Boris be in this side? He could wreck this division. What about Fjellstad here? Yeah, see, Fjellstad is physically he's fine. He's a pressing forward if ever I saw one. Hasn't got a great deal else other than physicals, good aggression. Yeah, but we'll have a good look at the squad. In a bit. They want me to sign young players. Okay, work within the wage budget, blah blah blah. Not judging me on that. Well, presumably they won't be at the moment because the season's basically over. And they just want a top half finish, but we're aiming for more than that. We want to get out of this division in an upwards direction because there is a 4th level of Norway in this game, and we really don't want to end up down there. Yes, that's all fine. So. Right, well it would seem that our squad is very small. We have a decent goalkeeper. Yes, he is decent. There's not much in the way of weaknesses in that boy. I like it. I like it. Yes, you are definitely worth keeping around and you're under contract for another 2 years. That's excellent. Okay, what about Sorensen here? He looks like he's not the greatest of technicals, but mentally and physically he is quality. Certainly for this level. He's out of contract soon though. We need to sort that out. I've got one Ghanaian in the squad. The rest are Norwegian. What other stuff have we got here? Oh yeah, that's the ones in the last year of contract. Oh. Well, there goes our chances of signing Sorensen then. Absolutely no interest in signing a new contract. Brilliant. There goes one of our star players. Oh well. Now you see, you say important player for him. Is he? Oh, he is actually quite good, isn't he? Physicals are shocking though, and only going to get worse. He's got not a lot of natural fitness. They are going to fall off a cliff. I mean, they're basically clinging on to a little tuft of grass at the top of said cliff at the moment. But and he's out of contract. He's on 18,500, which is a big wage compared to our wage budget. How are we looking on that? We're within the wage budget and committed spending is not too high at the moment, but I mean there's 40 grand going for a start because he doesn't want to sign and I don't want to sign him. He's good, I realise he's good, but those physicals are just going to crash. Okay, he's unhappy, he's leaving anyway, we don't care. Okay, ooh, a fantastic choice. Of course I'm a fantastic choice. Right. Well, we won't do too much in the way of introducing you to the squad because it's liable to change quite a bit anyway. It is a quite old I can see why they want to sign under 23 players, because we've got precisely one and he's not very good. Obviously, I haven't yet looked at the youth squads. Oh, we've got a second team and an under 20, or under 19s rather. So let's have a look. No real talent to speak of there. We've got a promising goalkeeper. We've got a very good goalkeeper. That's a shame. I mean, they're all 16, Ugandan and Lithuanian. Interesting. What about the under-19s? Again, I mean, there's Evanson there, who's got a lot of potential. Good finisher, can't do an awful lot else. Reasonable physicals, lacks strength. I don't even know what sort of formation. I mean, I've probably got reasonably free rein with the formation, actually. Because we've got so few players in the squad and some of them are going anyway. I can kind of do what I want. I can build whatever style squad I want here, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, see, look at that. I mean, one more win. If they'd have won one of those 3 games they lost in the last 5, they'd have actually been champions and gone up. It was that tight. I mean, look at that. 1st to 8th. Actually, well, 1st to 9th were separated by 6 points. All of which means that I think they're probably much of a muchness. Which means if we can get some quality in this side over the winter, then we could blitz this league potentially next season. It's about finding that quality now. And yeah, looking at the schedule, yeah, season's over. So yeah, well, I have a long old off season in the offing, because we don't start playing league matches until April by the looks of things. So I have got an awful lot of work to do, getting this squad built and ready to take on the Norwegian 3rd Division. And yeah, we will be back to have a look and see what I managed to accomplish. So yeah, well, thank you for joining me, and like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.